Western New York. And let's take a look at a few more plants. What I'm showing you right now is some daffodils that have been planted. Well, they've been here for years and years. I mean, I know I didn't plant them. I don't think my mother planted them. Probably a previous tenant planted them. Or, crazy as it might be, perhaps my grandmother and father planted them back when they owned pretty much this whole stretch. Well, they didn't exactly own, more like rented it, you know, and they had a good size plot of land to grow, have a nice garden and whatnot. I'd say hello to Allie. Say hello to everybody on YouTube. Guess you ain't in a talkative mood at the moment. Oh, now you are. What do you want to say to everybody on YouTube? I guess she's saying hello. Well, anyways, shortly before, just before I made that little video with my mom, you know, talking about her plants and whatnot, I was over at a friend's, doing some business, you know, and that business was, well, business. But my friend happens to own some blueberry plants, 4 big ones. I mean, let me put it this way. These things are less than 2 feet high, including the ones down that way. These things, at least this high, at least 6 feet, 7, maybe a little more. And these are old plants. They easily 40 plus years old. And I'll admit that they never really managed them. I mean, they just, you know, let it do what it wanted to do, you know. And not that I blame them. I mean, when you don't know what to do, you don't know what to do. And when someone just leaves you with the dies and leaves you with the plants, I'm sorry, you don't know what you're doing. Now you see, I might have some winter dieback on my plants. I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens, you know, with these ones. Well, anyways, like I said, these particular plants, they were 40 plus years old, and they had owned them for the past 20 odd years, and admittedly they never really took care of them because they just thought, let nature run its course, you know. And well, I kind of mentioned to them that that wasn't a good strategy for managing their plants. You know, and I showed them a few videos on YouTube, specifically the one about the University of Maine. Because, well, I mean, this is Western New York, and there wasn't a video on pruning blueberries in Western New York that I could find. I mean, there might be one. If there is, I didn't find it. Found one about the University of Maine, so I used that, showed that to them, you know, that sort of thing. I was like, okay, I see. And it's like, okay, we see, okay, And well, kind of went there today, you know, to my friend's place, you know, take a look at their plants, you know, and seems that my one friend's husband had been doing some pruning, you know, with a pruning saw and whatnot. And well, you know, I looked at the bush, the one bush anyways, it's like, and like, okay, you got the right idea, take away the dead stuff. But it's like I kind of pointed out that the wood that they wanted to leave behind was the stuff that's got fruit buds on, and I showed them the fruit buds, you know, and of course, well, their stuff was like old, and okay, that's still flexible. Well, you know, it's like old, stiff, brittle. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that you just, you know, and it broke real easy. You know. So, like I said, pointed that out to them, and it's like, okay. You know, that way they can just remove the stuff that's not gonna produce any fruit. You know, because, you know, if all you're left with is just the vegetative stuff, unless of course you got a young bush, you know, I mean, these are, I mean, like I said, I just put these in, so I'm gonna have to wait a bit, you know, before I can really do any pruning and whatnot. But, you know, that, you know, basically showing them what to look for, what to remove, you know. I mean, that's what you gotta do. You gotta see what it is you need to get rid of, and boy, that's a beautiful sunset. You know, just a lovely sunset. They also happen to own a black raspberry patch. Well, or is it blackberry? It's a mix, you know. Wouldn't be too surprised if there's a... that broke. Oh well. That does happen. I mean, parts of your plants are going to break. I mean, it's winter time. Let's face it. I mean, it's part of the reason why this time of year you prune your stuff. I mean, you prune out the dead stuff, you prune out the stuff that's not going to produce you any good fruit and that sort of stuff. You know? You gotta expect that sort of thing. You know? Otherwise, you're gonna be meeting up with a whole lot of disappointment, really. Well, anyways, like I mentioned, they also happen to have a black raspberry patch or blackberry patch, or one of the two, and that's a what is it? Part of some dead fruit from my fall golds. I can't say I see anything sprouting up yet, but well, that might be because I got the hay down, you know, and you know, to help protect the roots as much as I can. But anyways, like I was saying, they own some blackberries and black raspberries, you know. They own a patch, you know. You know, something that the birds brought, you know. So they got a bunch of wild raspberries and blackberries, you know. And they were kind of wondering about which ones were they supposed to, you know, I kind of wondered what they were doing with them, and I took a look, and it's like, you know, showed to my one friend exactly which ones you want to remove and which ones you want to keep. General rule of thumb is, depending on what you got, is Well, if you see evidence that there was fruit, you know, rotted fruit, rotting fruit, that sort of stuff, you cut those ones out. You know, the remains of fruits, you know, unless you got an ever-bearing variety, you cut those right down to the ground. And then, as for the ones that are more or less straight, or at least show that they have not produced any fruit, you leave those alone. You will, you leave the 1-year-old ones, which are usually the straight ones that have not yet branched, although admittedly some of these have branched. Like this one right here in the back, you know, it's got 1, 2, 3 branches on it. Well, you kind of want to leave, like I said, you normally leave the straight ones alone, and then you remove the ones that are branched and that have produced, you know, fruit. I mean, none of these have really produced the fruit except, well, because I went in on my hands and knees. Actually, I laid down on my belly, and I kind of went in and I cut out every single one that said, hey, I had produced fruit. You know, that way, you know, you remove the dead stuff. You always remove the dead stuff. Because that ain't going to do you any good. Now I see some small thin stuff that I might want to cut out. I mean, I'll probably do that when it's warmer, when it's nice and that sort of stuff. Because at the moment I got snow on the ground and it's getting cold and my fingers are about near frozen. You know, I mean, it's temperatures dropping and whatnot. Well, like I said, with your blueberries, you cut away the stuff that is dead, broken, no good, you know, as well as the stuff, you know, that only has only has vegetative wood, and of course, and leave the stuff that's got the fruit buds, and of course, with your raspberries and blackberries, you know, you cut out the old ones and leave the young ones. Okay? I'm gonna have to do a little bit of inspecting. You know. On the bright side, I think I found my one black raspberry in here. Unless, yep, that one's a black raspberry. It's got the slight thorns, you know, very slight. Well, like I said, well, I better get back inside. I mean, it's getting cold out here, and all that sort of stuff. And I think that part broke. Did that part break off? No, that part did. Well, not like that would have done anything anyways. Well, like I said, I'm gonna be well, I better get going. I mean, supper's getting ready. It's getting late, and like I said, that's one beautiful sunset. Well, this is Western New York. Subscribe if you like this. Comment. Hit the thumbs up and all that other good stuff. Well, goodbye.